watching KWQC TV, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, we know dogs can help relieve stress and anxiety, but do you know the difference between therapy dogs, service dogs, and emotional support animals? A comfort dog named Honeybee will join us.
Plus, Nelson Chiropractic is here to tell us about your trusting your gut, knowing how to tell when there could be a larger health problem, and solutions to fix it.
And it is never too early to start planning for the holidays. Where the Flowers Are Farm is here with details on the upcoming Wreath Fest, where you can design and create your own.
It is Tuesday, October 22nd, and you're watching Quad Cities Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Kyle Keel.
And I'm Morgan Otier. Well, the largest costume party in the Quad Cities is happening this weekend. Of course, we're talking about Dwyer and Michael's annual Halloween Ball.
Yep, that's right. Greg Dwyer and Bill Michaels are joining us now here in the QCL kitchen.
I tried to steal your line.
You sure did. We're a little confused on whose line is what today, but
So the service dogs and then these two dogs.
These old dogs.
Yeah.
No new tricks.
Get Honeybee in
Put
here.
them to sleep.
Yeah.
What does it take?
all right. So
having us.
yeah, of course. So the big party coming up this Saturday at the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds.
Yep.
Bring your best costume because you got a lot of cash prizes you're giving away.
Let's see, $500 for best individual costume, $500 for best group, and then we pay through
11th
place.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Because
Cash.
we're bad at math. But it is cash. And that's
11
what's
sounds
cool.
like a nice
Yes.
number.
Right.
Yeah.
It's basically bribery, but the legal kind. But no, people go all out.
Yeah.
We've seen some of the best ones recently are the ones where it's like what do they call them? Illusion costumes, where it looks like you're carrying somebody,
Something
but it's really
or
not.
someone.
And if you pull them off, like remember the Wicked Witch mirror thing where you got close to it
yeah.
and there was
Jump out at
there was a guy carrying a cage. There's that thing.
Yeah, we're seeing some of the costumes from the past.
Yeah.
None of these people are invited back.
I just saw a
away.
picture of two uniformed officers, but I could not tell if they were.
Those are hot cops.
If they're stripping by 9, they're not real cops, except for the one from Scott County.
Look at those two.
They look wonderful. Oh my
That
gosh.
dinosaur was a winner, $500 winner, and the dude spent
Velociraptor?
like, who's that?
Hey, nerd.
He spent like thousands of dollars on this thing just
Oh, wow.
because he loves Halloween.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we came to the Halloween Ball concept.
Yeah.
Bill and I have been DJing Halloween parties since before either of you were born. And we'd go to a bar, right? And there would be a guy who would have this big animatronic thing, and you could tell he put a ton of work into it. And then we'd do the big costume walk, and then Bo Peep would also show up, and then she would flash the crowd.
And then she would.
And then the guy Doc Ock would come up to us, and he'd be like,
What is happening?
"Wait a minute, you guys! I've been working on this since April."
Set the place on
So
fire.
now there's 11 winners.
Now we have and we have,
point of the
and we
story
have
here.
Halloween experts choosing the winners.
Oh, okay.
So not.
So when people are showing up for this, do they know who the judges are? Are they like secret judges?
They are
No.
See, I think that's a good way to do it.
Because it just keeps
Can't bribe the judges.
It just keeps it fair so that people it can't influence it.
Kyle is this year.
Oh, yeah. He's your secret, yeah. Mm.
We
I
decided
know.
we didn't want it.
The other guy dropped off.
Good for you.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you on there.
Thank you, Dwyer Michaels. Thank you so much.
Prestigious position.
So you
Yes.
can't tell us what you are both dressing up as.
Top secret.
It's a top secret.
Even to us.
I was thinking of
surprise
taking.
for everyone.
I was going to go black T-shirt and flannel
Look.
shirt.
Let's
we're
go
showing-
through some of your old
Dumb and
photos here.
Dumber, Speed Racer and Racer X. Balloon Boy, remember Balloon Boy?
Balloon Boy, yes. I do remember that.
And that's the hot and ready
Pizza guy.
Pizza guy. Cold
on,
Miser
Cold
and
Miser,
Heat
yeah.
Miser.
Oh, that was a great one. That was when Billy was. He was floating around. His legs were
On a
floating. That was so
skateboard.
good.
Oh,
And
that's
there's
like
Dumb
one
and
of those
Dumber
illusion
again.
ones.
Is your shirt sticking out of your fly?
It was a long night for one of the Dumb and Dumber team.
But
This is
people go
unhinged.
all out, and they'll call and ask, "Hey, what's the height of the door to the
Oh.
hall to get in?" We're like,
This is serious
"Ooh."
business.
This is.
We've had like this cast of Gilligan's Island, and they brought a boat on a trailer and wanted to bring it inside.
Frankenstein had to come in through the garage door because he was 9.5 feet tall.
Seriously, people go all
So
out.
yeah, so if you're going, even if you don't think you have the greatest idea for a costume, you're gonna get to see some pretty incredible stuff. Bottom line.
But if you have a bad costume, don't
come.
No,
Yeah.
Don't come.
Just
You're
read,
not
this
invited.
this isn't really for you.
Go to a lesser
This is
party.
not the Little League.
Maybe the one where they're giving away a pony kegger.
Not $500.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about what else is happening. So there's going to be food there.
Yes.
Okay.
So what kind
All
of
right.
food?
Well,
Great job, guys. Great job.
It's Smoky
Thanks for
Butt
coming.
Barbecue. They got burgers this year. Hors d'oeuvres or
we call them hors d'oeuvres. We don't say horse. Not on afternoon television. We don't.
live music from Help It Morgan.
Dirt Road Rockers.
Dirt Road
Fair
Rockers.
Oh, yeah.
warning.
Fair warning.
She's got the bands
You
down.
had one line. Fair warning will be there.
We're never coming back.
Fair warning, Dirt Road Rockers. You have 2 bands that are playing. There's going to be food.
Yes.
Admission. Oh, and the fairgrounds has a haunted house going on, right?
Fear ground.
Yeah.
Kyle was there.
I was there, yeah.
Was it scary?
Well, I didn't get to go through because the actors didn't want to be part of our show, but
Really?
it
Don't
could-
say, oh, man, great.
I was there previewing it before the actors got there, but yeah, I mean, I would go check it out.
Looks like something I would go to.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, it's got doors and windows. Yeah, all kinds
There's clowns, and that's all you need to know. There's clowns in it, so you'll be
can't
scared.
breathe.
I don't mind clowns, but I know people just can't stand clowns.
You guys should dress up on this show
Yeah.
and do have Sharon do the news. Wouldn't that be great? It's like
She does the news. She does all the news.
and as Bo Peep or whatever.
Oh, yeah. No.
Horrible house fire tonight. What's going on with that? Really sad. Well,
I feel like they don't want us to do that. But
it would make the sad
Would you
story.
stop asking questions? The service dog has to get out here. Come on.
I do need.
So we do have to buy tickets, though. That's
Honeybee
that's the
right
thing.
now.
You guys don't know because you're celebrities. You can talk.
Okay, the audience.
Tickets on sale.
Yeah, $25.
Yes.
We're going to need to see it.
breathe.
twodorks.com. And that just keeps out the young
Riffraff.
people and the riffraff.
And the young people, the popular
You
folks
do
don't like to
you do
come.
get to go through the haunted fairgrounds for free.
Yeah, it's
Tickets
part of your
in
ticket.
advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So can you?
You should check it out. You'd love it.
I would. Yeah, I'm sure I would. So do we have to do it ahead of time? Purchase the tickets? Can we do it at the door?
That would really help our sales department because
Yes.
they're all going, oh my God, we've
They
only
need a
sold
head
2.
count.
Yeah, they need
Yeah.
Tickets are available at the door.
Yes.
Tickets are available at the door because he had to say that. Okay.
We're so sorry. Are you guys sorry that you had us in here today?
No, I just can't
What a-
breathe.
I'm
No.
hurting from laughing.
Release the dogs.
Dog.
Oh,
Okay.
The other one.
let's get this thing back on the rails.
Yeah.
Unhinged. Unhinged. The Halloween Ball. It is this
Yes.
Saturday, October 26th. It's at the Fair Center building at the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds. Doors open at 6 p.m. Party goes until midnight, I
Yep.
believe. And if you want to buy your tickets ahead of time, which, as we heard, you absolutely should for the sales department, just head to 97x.com and you will find a link to purchase your tickets there.
Yes.
This was great.
No, this was fantastic.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for having us.
If you could just validate my parking, we'll go.
I'll ask
All
Jardine.
right. Well, Michael, stay tuned because still to come on Quad Cities Live, we're going to be talking about the service dog. But it was a formal funeral home. It's now a full-service venue for all kinds of gatherings and celebrations, where you can also request the company of this comfort dog. We'll meet this little sweetie pie after the break.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Research shows dogs can help manage and relieve stress during tragedies and difficult moments in life.
Yeah, so it's no surprise. There is a comfort dog present at several area funeral homes and event spaces. Tracy Thuman is an event coordinator with Dignity Memorial. Tracy, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, of course. And you brought a friend with you. Can you
I
introduce us to this
did.
sweetheart?
She's so
This is Honeybee, and yeah, she's with us. She's just super chill. This is what
She
she
is,
does. She greets
yes.
people as they come into our location specifically, which is our Davenport Memorial Park Cemetery office.
Okay.
Which we share, and it Cunnick Collins event venue. Life
Okay.
Celebration Center is in the same building. But she, of course, really helps the families that are there making arrangements when they've suffered a loss or had lost a family member.
Yeah.
And she is such a comfort to them and a natural social being.
Look at her. Oh, look at her.
Is she your dog?
She's my dog.
Oh, wow. Okay. So did she have to go through any training or anything to become a comfort dog?
Obedience training, and just she's been held and handled and trained 24/7 since
look
I
at that
got her at
face.
8 weeks.
Oh. And you were saying before the show that she can sense the person who's maybe grieving or maybe having difficulty. She can pick those people out in a room.
It's remarkable. It's remarkable. What's remarkable is her ability to work a room and then to land with the person that needs her most, it seems. And she'll anticipate pain, she'll anticipate emotional moments. And it's truly remarkable. That's not something that you train. She's just generations of this breed of Labrador that is carefully bred to maintain this temperament.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit more about the difference of, when there's therapy dogs, there's emotional support animals, there's service dogs. So, and she falls under a comfort dog category. So is
The therapy
dogs. Okay.
She requires a certification.
Okay.
Which extensive obedience training comes first, and
Okay.
then she is assessed. And there's skills that we have to demonstrate. So we have a certificate as
Oh,
a
look at that.
pair.
There we go.
And with the certificate, we are then able to go into facilities, nursing homes, hospitals, schools, and places to allow her to do what she does best, and that's cheer people up.
And we're seeing an increase in the need and the presence of therapy dogs in all of those places that you mentioned, because as we mentioned at the top, science has shown that these can really benefit us as humans.
Lowers our blood pressure, the stress release is just phenomenal. Just sitting and fribbling with one of her ears and have her look you in the eye with that sweet face of hers, and she's a total wiggle butt when she's up and
She
doing
is.
her
We saw
thing.
that before the show. Yeah.
Happy, happy, happy. But there's a certification that was necessary. There are service animals or service dogs, and that's different. Those are the animals that the handler has to have a disability.
Okay.
And they're paired with a service animal to aid them in some way to manage their disability.
And typically it's the opposite where, and we have that right here for people, but it's typically the opposite because with a service dog, they don't typically want people to touch the service dog. They're working at that time. So
That's
it's
correct.
the opposite of when you see a therapy dog or a comfort dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And they're not to be approached if they're wearing their vest that identifies them as
Right.
a service animal. Once they're at work.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the Life Celebration Center.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
It's not a funeral home anymore. It has completely switched to a celebration center. So talk about the different types of events that you have had there that people can, have there.
Certainly. When I came on board, one of our first big events was a pet expo to raise money for Rescued, which
cute.
supports families with vet bills that are beyond their budgets. And it was phenomenal to turn our space into an expo center. And we had 40 dogs running around, pet, very friendly social animals. And she was, of course, the hostess.
Of course.
We have, showers and all kinds of meetings and celebrations, family reunions, class reunions.
Yeah.
We hope to have weddings and receptions.
Well, the space looks beautiful. We
Yeah.
just saw a photo of it.
It is very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice and comfortable.
And you yourself, you have plenty of experience in event planning because you've done this for many years as a wedding planner, right?
Decades.
Decades.
Wow.
Decades. I'm old. I'm soon to be very old officially.
Oh, come
no.
on.
But
Please.
with hundreds of weddings under my belt, planning events comes naturally to me, and all kinds of celebrations, whether it be celebrations of life for families that have
Yeah.
lost someone and they want to have tribute for. We have El Ritmo coming up, if you're familiar.
Oh, yeah. So there are several upcoming events, and that one is in November, right? So
November 1st.
next Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
And we will turn our place into a dance party. It'll be a costume event.
Ooh, fun.
Which will be super fun. And looking forward to that.
Yeah. Another event you have coming up is a blood drive.
We do. And that is on the 8th
Okay.
And we hope to kind of recoup what's been sent down south to hurricane victims.
Of course.
Our blood supply is low right now, and it's much needed, so we wanted to do something in our facility and open it up, and we want to fill up our calendar that day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so you also have a food drive going on right now.
We do. We do. And that is for Great River Bend Food Bank. There too, I took a tour and it was sad to see their shelves not full.
Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely a big need.
For certain, absolutely. And it's our pleasure to do what we can to support our community and beyond.
Oh, well, you're doing that in so many ways.
Thank
So is
you.
Honeybee.
Oh, Honeybee, such a sweet one.
Yes.
So, Honeybee, you should just stay with us for the rest of the show.
keep us
She's
calm,
yeah,
huh?
full of energy. You're
Nice
not
meeting
you're not being very happy. Can you show them you're happy?
wagging.
Are you gonna get up?
Yay! You can
Yes.
She was
you're
very
so-
happy when she first came in, though. So
She
saw all
was-
the new people.
She worked with 2 different families this morning already.
Oh, so she's had a busy day.
And she has had a busy day.
Well, she's doing a good job.
She certainly is. Well, you can stop by and see the Life Celebration Center or learn more by checking out the website and Facebook page. We have those on your screen right now. Tracy and Honeybee, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate it. Yes. Coming up after the break, if you're experiencing some nagging health issues, there's a chance the source could lead to your gut. Nelson Chiropractic is here to explain. Next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
If you're experiencing symptoms like headaches and migraines, sinus issues, brain fog, hormonal imbalances, it really could all lead back to your gut. Back with us today is Dr. Tracy Nelson from Nelson Chiropractic. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So lots of really interesting stuff to talk about today, and what I'm talking about is something referred to as leaky gut.
Leaky gut. We have a picture of the leaky gut and what
Yeah.
it looks like, and it is one of those things that kind of goes across the board that so many people have, and it really comes down to the lining in your intestines.
Okay.
Is really only 1 cell thick, right? And so any damage to that from things like our diet, antibiotic use, alcohol, toxins, all those different things can cause basically holes in it, and it gets like gauze. And so a lot of things in your intestines go into your bloodstream that should not be there.
I see. Okay, so we need to care about our gut lining for this reason.
It causes massive inflammation on your whole body. That's why a chiropractor would care about this, because a lot of pain, discomfort, and a lot of overall, headaches and things like that can be from that.
Interesting. And I'm surprised. I've heard of it before, like I've heard the term used before, but I guess until you were here today, I had no idea what it really meant. So how would somebody know if they had leaky gut? I mean, I just named a few symptoms, but there are many more.
There's so many. I mean, it's not just digestive. I have patients who've actually improved by correcting this with their brain fog and, just inability and that slow kind of finding the word they want to use, those kinds of things. But just overall fatigue and, like we said, joint pain. Patients with fibromyalgia have done better when they healed this gut issue. Just bloating and overall weight gain that they can't quite get a hold of.
What I think is interesting is when you look at the symptoms of leaky gut on the screen right now, it really runs the gamut.
It really does, and
issues.
that's why it's a little bit tricky to get taken care of, because what provider looks at everything, right? And that's what chiropractors do. We look at things that affect the whole body, and that's absolutely what this is.
Wow. Okay. So how can chiropractors help people that are dealing with?
Yeah. So we have a program called the Trust Your Gut program, and it really fixes all the causes of this in different phases. Sometimes people will just take maybe a probiotic to get their gut healthier.
Okay.
But if you don't heal those, holes essentially in your intestinal lining, you can't build up the proper probiotics that you need. So you have to start back with healing that and sealing that. So it's a 3-phase program that we do.
Okay. So so heal and seal, detox and de-stress.
Yeah, detoxing. So a lot of people have heard of candida, right?
Okay.
Yeast overgrowth in the body. It's very, very common with the typical American diet. And so getting rid of that, which actually it lives in our intestines when it's injured like that, and it produces a toxin that affects our whole body. So getting rid of that is part of the detoxification process that we do.
Okay, and then can we go back to heal and seal? So what does that entail? I mean, do you need to get like adjusted to help reduce some inflammation?
Adjustments, of course, because it makes your whole body work better.
Yes.
But there's nutritional components to what we do, and elimination, and we help you figure out exactly the foods that do affect you. Because if you keep eating dairy, for example, and it is causing issues for you, then you're never going to heal. So we have to go back to the beginning, make sure we know exactly what affects you, seal it up, then detoxify, and then build the good probiotics and things.
Of course, that could be a long process, but how worth it would it be to know what it is if it's your diet or something
Life changing. I mean, it's been life-changing for so many of our patients, and you really should never have to do this again. Because if you heal properly and your gut's functioning, you don't have the cravings for sugar and different things like that, and you feel so much better, you don't want things that hurt you.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then replenish and rebuild. So what does that entail?
Yeah, that's all the probiotics. We have such a microbiome that lives in our intestinal tract that does so many good things. We put all those good things in there that belong there that just make us healthier.
Okay, amazing. And you do workshops from time to time, and you actually have a workshop that is coming up tomorrow night, a Trust Your Gut workshop. So what happens at one of these informative workshops?
Yeah, so we're going to do little, like a quiz, they can sort of rate themselves to know, are the symptoms I'm having, could they be related to this? Because it is so vast, like you said. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about exactly how we can help and how it's really specific for each patient.
Yeah, I think that's so important, because I also think when you have those symptoms, sometimes when you go to a doctor, or sometimes you just avoid the doctor altogether because they seem so, I don't know.
Vague. They're vague.
They do. They seem vague, and it's really hard to try and get to the bottom of why it is happening. It's really a lot about advocating for yourself, knowing this doesn't feel right, and this is a great way to get started.
Yeah, it's a good way to just improve your overall health. Everything kind of overlaps like that.
Yeah, really important stuff. Okay, so that workshop is happening tomorrow night, but if you can't make it, I know you do this often, so a good place to check would be the website. If you want to learn about root causes, any solutions, visit nelsonchiropractic.com/metabolic-health. That's where you're going to learn about the stuff that we talked about today. Dr. Tracy Nelson, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Up next on QCL, what you need to know if you're considering a 529 account to save for college and education expenses. Our financial contributor, Heidi Hueskamp-Collins, will join us after the break.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Saving for a child's future is expensive, especially if that child is going to college. But there's a savings account you can open designed specifically to be used for education expenses. Heidi Hueskamp-Collins is our financial contributor and is joining us now. Heidi, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Thank you for being here. And today we are focusing on 529 college savings plans, or 529 plans, because I'm sure as you'll get to, you don't necessarily need to go to college to use these, correct?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so let's start with a review of what these are, 529 savings plans.
Right, we talked about these in July and for back to school.
Yeah.
And a 529 plan is one of the best gifts that the IRS gives us, because it allows loving adults to put aside money for their child or their teen or grandparent or niece or nephew or whatever the case may be. And that money grows tax-free and is never taxed if it's used for eligible upper education expenses, like tuition, room and board, computers, internet, books, fees, anything like that.
Wow.
And it's not just college, it's also trade school.
Okay.
It could be beauty school. It could be any certifications, if you're going to get a certification in doing ultrasounds or radiology or anything like that.
Has it always been like that?
It always has been, yes.
Wow. That's wonderful. Because, okay, so when we talk about people being worried about 529 plans, then what would be the concern there?
People are still, even though they're so flexible and can be used for so many things, the biggest worry and the biggest concern I hear from people is, I don't want to open one because what if my child or, you know, my grandchild or whatever the case may be still doesn't, you know, go on to any kind of schooling after high school.
Right.
You know, and they're just petrified of that.
Yeah. Okay. So, as an advisor, what would be your response to that? Somebody who's worried about that, because it just really feels like there are a lot of avenues. Like when a child, you know, graduates from high school and figures out what they want to do, there's always, it seems to be learning involved in some way, shape, or form.
There is, but I think first we need to talk about worst case scenario.
Okay.
Because that's what's important for people to, you know, put their mind at ease.
Sure.
So worst case scenario, you can get your money out.
Okay.
You can get your money out. Now, if it's not going to be used for educational purposes, you will pay ordinary income tax on the growth, not the amount you put in.
Okay.
But just on the growth, the earnings.
Okay.
And then there might be a 10% penalty.
Okay.
You know, I mean, not perfect, not, you know, the best thing in the world, but I mean, doable.
Yeah, it's not like you're losing it entirely.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and it just seems to go to so many different things that, you know, you could find, it seems like you could find something there. So who else can use money in a 529 plan?
See, that's a great thing. So if, you know, I tell people 99.99999% of the time, you're going to get your money out and you're going to be able to use it. If the beneficiary, the person you set it up for, does not use it for any educational purposes whatsoever, it can go to a sibling of that person.
Oh, wow.
It can go to a parent, a step-parent, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a first cousin.
Really?
And a lot of people don't know this, but it can even stay and grow and grow and grow until that beneficiary, that child you opened it for, until they have their own child.
And they can use it.
And they can use it.
Really?
So at present, there is no cap on the number of years that the 529 can stay open.
Wow.
So like I said, I think, you know, out of all those relationships, you're going to find someone who could use, you know, educational money. But if it doesn't, you can have it for your child. And think about all the growth over those, you know, that many years.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And as you were talking about with me before we started the segment, as far as who can put money into it, can you go over that again?
Sure. So maybe a parent wants to open a 529 savings plan for their child.
Right.
And then a lot of times I have that parent give my name and, you know, contact information to grandparents, to aunts and uncles or other loving adults, because, you know, kids today, they have so many toys and so much stuff.
Yes, they do.
You know, and birthdays and Christmas, it's a great, you know, it's a great option.
It is.
To put the money in the account and save for, you know, higher education.
Yeah.
Rather than get them more stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure, you know, parents across the board would really appreciate that. What a gift.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, well, if you want to learn more about 529 plans or any of the other services that Heidi offers, all you have to do is visit her website. That's hhcinvestments.net. And a reminder, you can see our previous segments with Heidi by visiting our website, kwqc.com, and clicking the tab for Quad Cities Live. Good information as always, Heidi. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, still to come on QCL, your opportunity to create your own holiday wreath and maybe get some Christmas shopping done too. Where the Flowers Are Farm is here with a preview of Wreath Fest. Tomorrow on Quad Cities Live, Scarecrow Row is one of the area's favorite Halloween traditions, and it's back this weekend in Geneseo's City Park. We'll get the details on this family-friendly event involving fun, photos, and plenty of candy.
Plus, elementary after-school activities, STEAM kits, and sensory stands. We'll show you what's new at the Rock Island Public Library. That and much more tomorrow when you join us right here on Quad Cities Live.
If you want to get a jump start on holiday shopping and decorating, be sure to secure your tickets for the upcoming Wreath Fest.
Yeah, the workshop and vendor event is set for Saturday, November 16th. Kristen Schaffeld is the woman behind Where the Flowers Are Farm, and she is hosting this wreath-making workshop next month. Kristen, welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining us.
So good to be back. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
So this is going to be, you've had many small workshops in the past, but this one's going to be one of the larger ones that you've held.
Yes, this will be our largest workshop yet. We have done plenty of floral workshops where you can come out to the farm and cut and arrange. And we have done wreath workshops over the past couple of years at different locations. But we said this year, why don't we incorporate other vendors, keep it local, keep it a part of the story. And we've rented out Geneva for an entire day to put on a really great event. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Okay, so we've even had guests here today asking you about this event because
This draws
everyone's
them to the
curious.
table.
Yes, it's beautiful. So describe that space for us. It's a country club, correct?
Yes, it's Geneva Golf and Country Club is in Muscatine.
Okay.
It's a really beautiful venue, and we've rented the whole upper area. So we're hosting 2 workshops, a morning and an afternoon option.
Okay.
And then our guests have access to all of our lovely local vendors and the opportunity to stay for lunch, whether they're bringing a crew from their workplace, friends, a spouse, however they decide to do it. So
That's really fun.
Yeah, and this will be a guided workshop, so you're actually going to take people through a step-by-step process on how to make a wreath.
Yes, it will be very user-friendly, and we'll all do it together. So,
Is this what you start with here?
yes, these are our metal wreath backs, and last year we purchased a industrial clamp machine so that we could use very sturdy metal wreath backs for our wreaths.
Okay.
All of the greens that we're using are local from our farm. They're harvested from our flower farm. And we love this because it makes a really sturdy wreath that holds well together outside in the elements. So.
Okay, look, can we do a mini workshop?
Yeah, let's do it.
So like what would be the, I wouldn't even know the first thing
Yes.
that I would do.
On our table at the workshop, everyone will have a 12-inch wreath clamp.
Okay.
We harvest an assortment of different greens so you get lovely scents and a really full wreath look. So I usually have folks grab one of each of the things that are on their table. We'll mix them all together.
Okay.
And at the workshop, you'll have the opportunity to add things like
pretty.
eucalyptus or berries or bells.
Okay.
We'll have a whole flare
a little
bar
more
that you can.
festive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you can make your wreath in your colors that match your home.
I see.
So we put these together and into this clamp.
Okay.
And when we don't have a clamp machine, we use PVC.
Oh,
okay.
Right? We're getting. we're
look
going
at
for it.
you.
There you go.
So we just pull these clamps down
Handy
over top.
woman.
Yeah. And this makes it something that you can do in a workshop together.
Sure.
And then of course, I don't know about on TV, but we have our metal
Yeah,
backs.
might as well. Yeah.
So we're just going to make sure these are down and holding
gosh.
your materials in there. I missed
Interesting.
that piece.
beautiful. This is so fun.
We'll go around, we'll fill the entire wreath, and when we're done, you'll have something beautiful to take home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're done with that, I mean, you mentioned it before, you've got the vendor fair going on, so
Yes.
you brought many items here.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
talk about some of the vendors that are going to be there.
We have some really amazing vendors, all local to the Quad Cities area. Today, I've brought a slew of different things that our
Yes.
vendors have put
Some
together for
earrings.
us. Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Man, where do we start here? So over here, you'll see Rooted in Clay.
Yeah.
This is a new vendor. She makes these holiday-specific earrings out
Those
of
are
clay.
beautiful.
And she just got off of an event, but she'll be putting together a whole slew of Christmas earrings for us. Yep. And then over here, we have Southern Pearl with these signs.
Oh, yeah. These are very
and
nice.
Those are so
Yeah.
cute.
She is just such an amazing
animated.
creative. Oh
Love
yeah,
it.
and she puts together all sorts of different door hangers. She also does window painting, so if you're looking for someone
Oh,
to do
hey.
that.
Oh, I
Yes.
love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have Warrior Blend oatmeal over here, organic oats, really healthy ingredients, and you can just pop it into the microwave.
And that's local?
This is local.
Wow.
Right out of Muscatine, and I love those for stocking stuffers or when we have
that's a good idea.
guests over. I always
Yeah.
throw those down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Some bread as well.
This has
Isn't that
my
cute?
attention.
Yeah.
Caught your eye, the sparkly gold.
This is One Hope wine. Brie in Muscatine is our rep for One Hope, and it's really cool. They give back 10% to whatever charity you choose.
Oh, wow.
So for this event, we're giving back
I was gonna say,
to.
I smell it from over here.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Convoy of Hope. So all of the 10% of the proceeds from the wine will go back to hurricane relief on that.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
Have a list of all of those vendors that are going to be there on your screen right now. And so, talk about the ticket prices. You want these in advance, correct?
Yes, all tickets have to be purchased in advance.
Okay.
They start at $70. There's a $5 discount for a group rate. All of that is listed online.
perfect.
And then you can choose to add merchandise, Wreath Fest t-shirts. Everyone will be getting a swag bag with some awesome items from our vendors.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then there's the opportunity, like I said, to add lunch. So you can stay after the morning or before the afternoon workshop.
Perfect.
I have to ask too. So I see the stickers
Yes.
and the swag bag and the T-shirt on the table right here near the popcorn. Beautiful. So who designs this? Do you do this?
I take that on, yes.
Oh,
I
you
love
are
designing
a woman
new
of much
things, so
talent.
thank you.
Yes, this is great.
Thank you.
That is
Yeah.
incredible.
And then they'll get a drink ticket as well, because I know you're
Yep.
going to have a hot cocoa bar.
We're gonna have a hot
yeah.
cocoa
Get you in
coffee
the festive
bar.
spirit, yeah.
And then we'll have the opportunity if you'd like a curated cocktail as well. So
I'm in.
yeah,
Awesome, yeah.
it's gonna be so much fun.
This will definitely get you in the holiday spirit, that's for sure. So you'll want to be sure to snag your tickets beforehand,
Yep.
and you can do that by heading to wheretheflowersarefarm.com. And of course, you want to follow along on Facebook and Instagram for event updates, details on vendors, and much more. And of course, Where the Flowers Are Farm. You've been on the show before, showing
Yeah.
your detail of all the flowers and all the things you do with the flowers. So you're very good at updating that on social media as well. So
Thank you.
follow Where the Flowers Are Farm.
Yeah, and check out all the vendors because we got through a few of them today, but there are so many that are a part of this
They're
event.
so amazing.
event.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, well, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, and thank you so much for watching Quad Cities Live.
Your local news at 4 is up next.